Hey everyone, it's Jack. Welcome back to the Whole Lot of Nerd channel. Keep forgetting it's not a podcast. Anyway, CinemaCon is going on right now in Las Vegas. And if you've never heard of CinemaCon, think of Comic Con but for movies. Specifically, movie theater owners, companies who own movie theaters and so forth. They basically get to see ahead of time trailers and snippets, stuff in the works. So what's going on right now is this huge convention, and there's a lot of news coming out of it. There's some stuff from yesterday. Sony had their presentations and trailers and announcements and so forth. So there's a couple of things you're going to be hearing about that. But there's one thing I wanted to touch on, and that is the whole what they call day and date streaming or movie release time frame. Warner Brothers, HBO Max did this last year with their entire movie slate, and a lot of people said it was great. Well, a lot of people like us, the consumers, we thought it was great because, number one, we can really go to movie theaters. And number two, we got to see a lot of movies from the comfort of our homes. And we just said, well, hey, this is great. This is the future. Not so much for the movie theaters, though. The companies didn't really like that. They hated that, to be honest. In fact, Warner Brothers, who did this, actually alienated themselves from tons of producers, directors, even like, for example, Vinny Villeneuve, from the director of Blade Runner 2049. He wrote an article, I believe it was on Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, one of the two websites, just pretty much talking so much smack about Warner Brothers, who owns HBO Max, and pretty much said this is going to ruin the industry. So today, well, actually, sorry, yesterday, the chief of the theater owners, it's just oddly enough, it's called NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners. He pretty much came out and said that the day and date model is dead as a serious business. Oh, let me rephrase that. Sorry, the day and date model is dead as a serious business model. Sorry, let me correct that. So, this is an article from Variety. Yeah, they're saying basically that as of right now, because when Warner Bros. Did this, they didn't really consult with anybody. They didn't really consult with movie theater owners because apparently the businesses, the companies consult with the movie theater owners. Right now, there's a window of when a movie comes out. It takes about either 45 to 90 days for it to go to a streaming service. Warner Brothers has it, I think, at 45. Universal, I think, as well. I'm not too sure what Disney's is, to be honest, but they're not that long. It's usually about a month and a half, 2 months, maybe tops. So they're saying, that model of day and date, it's dead. You're never going to see it again. And these are the reasons why they're saying it's dead. And the president of NATO, John Fithian, I'm sorry, bad with names. I am pleased to announce that simultaneous release is dead as a serious business model, and piracy is what killed it. Now, is it? Did it kill it? See, there's always this whole notion of, piracy with a lot of the films, and yeah, it kind of, HBO Max kind of helped it, to be honest. It kind of helped a lot of the piracy to go down last year. It's just unfortunately, even with Disney, with Black Widow, when it came out, it was actually one of the most pirated films. Disney says, we made a lot of subscriptions based off it, but in reality, it got pirated a lot. So they basically go on to say the reason it's really a dead model now, even as they evolve, it remains the case that theatrical windows grow our entire industry. If a major title that people are clamoring to see in theaters is released too quickly to the home and then pirated, the temptation to stay home and watch pirated films becomes greater for many potential moviegoers. They're trying to save their industry. It's understandable. They're trying to just save it because every year it's been, because of the window being shortened so much, the theater owners are seeing less and less money for them, because you would think that ticket, that $15 or $20 ticket you're paying for, that doesn't go to the theater. For example, Disney's notorious for this. Disney has it set up where and I believe it was for Star Wars Episode 7. I believe. Anyway, what they did was for the first week, the ticket, the amount of that $20 ticket, the amount that would go to the movie theater was actually like around $5. And after that, the next week it became 10, and not the week after that it became 15, and so forth. So Disney's notorious for doing that. So the movie theater companies actually rely on the concession, popcorn, soda, candy. That's what they rely on. That's how they get their money. That's how they pay their employees. That's how they pay the lights and everything. It's not the ticket, it's the food. So the whole model of day and date, if it was attempted now, it would ruin the theater industry. And pretty much, where would you go see a movie theater? Where would you go see a movie? You wouldn't go to your AMC. You wouldn't go to your Cinemark. Me, I go to the Alamo Draft House. You wouldn't be able to go there anymore because they would all be gone. And there's been always this talk that in the future, eventually, that's what we're gonna do. That we're gonna be able to see our movies at home. I believe there's even a special box. I'm not sure how big it is. I'm just going to use this as an example. But apparently you would pay, I think, $50 or $75 a month. And when a movie came out, it would go there. And then you would be able to see it at home. There was a few, I believe, directors, maybe a few companies that were okay with it, but it didn't pan out. So every company has a streaming service now, but now they seem to be working along more with the theater owners, because, for example, the Batman movie that came out recently, that would have gone to day and date, but they said no, let's go back to the normal model. A lot of the COVID cases are down. There's more reason for people to go. Actually, Spider-Man No Way Home was the first movie to pretty much bring everyone back to the movie theaters, and Batman continued that. So the model of the day and date is really obsolete. You really don't need it. If anything, you just need it for the fact that there's so many movies coming out now. If you can't see every movie in the movie theater, at least you'll be able to catch it a month or 2 months after on a streaming service. So it's not that bad of a thing, right? I don't think. But it always gets me, the whole thing of the piracy thing, But like they quote here in the Variety article right here, in North America there are at least 1,400 illegal websites, streaming subscription services in 2019. There were at least that. Yeah, there's a couple of them, but unfortunately, it's the movie theater industry is kind of going by. It's following what happened to the music industry with Napster, LimeWire. It's gonna eventually figure out its business model. It's gonna eventually figure it out. But anyway, what do you guys think? Are you gonna miss that? Are you gonna miss the whole day and date? Are you gonna miss watching a movie like The Batman or watching Spider-Man No Way Home from the comfort of your home? Are you going to miss that? Or have you been waiting to go back to the movie theater? To be honest with you, I've been waiting to go back to the movie theater. I love that experience. I love the theater I go to all the time. But it is something, it was kind of cool to see. Let's say, for example, Mortal Kombat. Even though I hated Mortal Kombat, it was cool to see it on my TV, see it at home. It was interesting. It was cool, but I won't miss it, to be honest. I'm okay with this. But anyway, what do you guys think? Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a good one.